200 days ago, I looked like this. Not my finest hour. I was skipping workouts, eating out way too much, staying up late working and traveling, which definitely had a massive impact on my health and fitness. So what did this do? Well, it inspired me to take on the hardest challenge in the bodybuilding world that many don't even dare to attempt. Enter a bodybuilding show. I'm currently just over 2 weeks out from my first ever show, and today I'm going to show you my daily routine along with 10 of the worst things that I've experienced on this journey so far, starting with morning routine. Good morning, everybody. Another day of my cheeks more sunken in than Skeletor. Honestly, I do miss my chipmunk cheeks. Just means I need a nut to fill them. The first thing I do every single morning is check how bad my sleep score is, because sleep is absolutely atrocious right now. Although I do feel like last night was probably the best sleep I've had in a good 3 weeks. So let's see our score. I always hate that updating line goes so slow. Oh my God, 86 sleep, 93 readiness. This is a rare occurrence. I was not even cracking the 80s at all. I must have really needed it. No matter what you try to take to make your sleep better, what you do, usually the sleep is awful. I've even tried taking chloroform. Next on the routine is I face my frenemy, the scale. This number is going to dictate if I'm going to enjoy my day or if I want it to be my last. I'm partly joking. So based off my sleep score, I have a feeling that today is just going to be a good day. Here we go. $177.2 pounds. That is a new low weigh-in, my friends. The little things are what's making me happy. To think I also started this journey at 205 pounds means I'm almost down 30 pounds. And of that, I'm convinced I've lost a few brain cells. I've lost half an inch off my height. I've lost I've lost my ability to speak English. I've lost my entire wardrobe. If only losing weight was as easy as losing everything else in my life, my keys, my wallet. Now what I do is I start to send some pictures in my little thong, my bodybuilding thong that I just got custom ordered. It's literally Katie's highlight of the morning. I have 40% glute coverage on this one here, and then we got 60% glute coverage on this one here. And then on show day, we're gonna decide how shredded my glutes are, and we'll see which one I have to throw on. So gonna send some pictures to my coach. It's actually my coach this time, not a nickname for a much, much older man to remain anonymous. And then he will text me to see if he needs to drop my calories even more. So we just try to look as shredded as possible now so we don't drop calories. I try to use the end of this carpet as like the line for like the stage to kind of keep everything in line. And this still just feels so strange. But here we go, we're gonna run through the mandatories here. I definitely think that progress has been made since yesterday. I'm very happy in the photos with my quads. They're really starting to come in, starting to feather right here. There's some detail coming out of the top. And that's when you know you are getting pretty lean. And right now, I am so flat, like it's ridiculous. I'm so flat that I actually feel like I look like I'm higher body fat than I actually am, because I just feel so stringy and like crap. But it's all in the name of the game, and we just keep on depleting, keep on looking like crap, and then when show day comes, hopefully all the carbs that we carb up with makes us morph into a freaking monster. This entire prep, I've had zero cardio whatsoever. I just have a daily step total, which is 12,000 steps today. I guess that is technically cardio, but it's not like I'm doing an hour on the Stairmaster, something like that. So I'm pretty happy with this overall. We are walking to go to coffee right now. And in terms of my caffeine consumption, I wouldn't say it's like straight up degenerate levels. I think Katie would say otherwise, right? 100%. 100%, yeah. But I just keep telling myself, I'm like, it's not an addiction if it helps you reach your goals.
This walk is 6,000 to 7,000 steps. Get 50% of it out of the way right now, early on. And then we are smooth sailing today. Today's a good day. Really good day so far. So far. It's gonna get shit. Also, I look like absolute shit right now. What? Right, I gotta be kind to myself. Boba! What's up, dude? Bro literally pisses on everything. We made it. Yay. I will see you soon. I promise. Thank you.
Dark roast double double. Small dark roast double double.
Oh my God. On the way home, this morning walk turns into a morning walk. Morning with a U. Because I just get hangry so quickly. I just switch up so fast. And I know there's nothing substantial waiting for me back at home. Which leads me to my next thing. I non-stop, like literally non-stop think about food, even when I'm not hungry. Like this has to be what pregnancy cravings must be like. I've watched every single Barstool Sports pizza review I think he's ever posted in the span of the past 3 weeks. But it's just because I know I can't have it, so now I'm obsessing over it. Like even right now, I'm wondering what squirrel meat tastes like. We got a text from Coach, and unfortunately, he never sends photos back. But he did send me new calories, which are lower, and that is 225 grams of protein, 150 grams of carbs, and 50 grams of fat. I appreciate the fact that he doesn't give me the total calories because I believe that's below 2,000, but I don't actually know for sure, and it's better that way. And the steps are at 12,000 steps, which is the same, and we are checking in every single day at this point because it is crunch time, baby. So I'm gonna be doing the breakfast I've been doing pretty much this entire time. And that is fruit and eggs. Not egg whites, eggs. Now, I think it's super important, whether you're on a cut or a bulk, not even tracking your food at the moment, to remember, make note of the foods that keep you full, so when you're on a diet, you remember them, and those foods are now tools in your toolbox to make the diet a whole lot easier. So I've noticed when I have a lot of fruit in the morning, I have some whole eggs, I feel great. It satiates me for a very long time. So we got some watermelon, super low calorie, very hydrating, raspberries, blackberries, apple, kiwi, because I haven't seen Jeff Nippert in a very long time and just missed the guy. 70 grams of blackberries, and I'm like OCD at this point. It cannot be 69. You know, it could be 69. It just can't be 71. 69. There we go. It's okay. 80 grams raspberries. 81, 82. So I'm literally, at this point, I'm going like this. That's the difference from first place to second place.
Oh, I think that was sick.
Hey. Hey. Uh-oh. Eggs are almost done. So I think a lot of people are probably like, this is so weird. He's not having egg whites. What's going on? And I know it's kind of weird, but health and bodybuilding go together like drinking and driving. Like they just don't, right? And I'm already doing this prep and I'm pretty much killing myself. I'm not doing the healthiest thing right now. It's pretty extreme. So I'm like, let's just make sure my diet is better than it usually is. You know, eating more whole foods, not having so much artificial sweeteners. I've been very interested in my micronutrients and the actual more in-depth nutrient values of my food rather than just the protein, carbs, and fats. I notice I feel a whole lot better when I do that. So tracking all of my food today, I'm using the Macro Factor app. It is an amazing tool to learn more about your food. So if you guys want to try it out, make sure to use code WILL for a 2-week free trial. All right, breakfast is ready. It is 10:35. I pushed it as long as I could. At this point of the diet, a fruit salad is the only salad I even think about tossing. I don't even remember what a grapefruit feels like. I also just miss eating for social activity. Now I like guard my food like a rabid wolf. You know what I mean? Like no one can come close to me right now. Another thing that I've really noticed getting so lean that sucks is that sitting hurts. Being on an airplane, driving my car, I have no fat on my ass. Like I feel like if I gave somebody a lap dance, I would get arrested for battery. This is actually so much fruit to get through. I'm actually taking my time with my meals now. And I don't know if that's me savoring it or my body is just like not wanting to expend excess energy with the way I normally eat. But it is nice, the meals last so much longer. 19 days out, chest, back, and biceps workout. If I'm being honest, I don't like coming to the gym anymore. It's not fun whatsoever, which is very sad because it used to be the highlight of my day, but now it just feels like I'm surviving an anabolic zombie apocalypse at this point. Honestly, when it comes to a cut, it's such a mental game. If you go into a cut thinking that you're gonna lose all this muscle, lose all this strength, guess what? You're going to. But if you go into it with the same goals, same drive, same objective as any other day, you'd be very surprised what your body can do. So when it comes to this show, I can accept failure, you know, like not winning it, because that's not what it's about. But what I can't accept is not giving it everything I got. So we're gonna do the best we can right now, and given that it's 2 weeks out, it's gonna be a grind. First exercise, incline dumbbell, 3 sets, 8 to 10. Generally like to go heavy on the first exercise and try to maintain the same weight, same reps as I did back when I was 205 pounds. Surprisingly, I've done a pretty good job at it. So hopefully we can work up to like 115 pounds for 3 sets of 10 and I'd be super happy. But these workouts, you can't really take your time because the longer that you take, the shittier you start to feel. So you really have to kind of get through it just so you kind of feel good the entire time. This is where the music comes on and shit gets serious. Here we go. I'm happy with that. Oh my God. I think like my peak, I get the 120s for 3 sets of 10. So the fact that I'm like nearly 30 pounds down, 115s. I can't complain with that. Now, if I can replicate that 2 more times, is a whole different story. Wow, my head is hurting. Another thing that I've really noticed is that you can't grind reps at all. It gets frustrating at times. You kind of just hit this wall that you can't control, and you kind of just have to give it up. Woo, fuck. Let's go. Nope. Now I'm pissed. Next thing, gonna be a machine press, because at this point, no more free weight. It would just not be a good idea. I just need to be more stabilized because I fatigue super quick. Gonna ideally do, around 3 sets, 10 to 12 here, finish up with some flies, and then move on to back. Man, it really sucks coming to the gym, and it's not about progressing and getting better. It's about maintaining best case scenario. Oh, man. You have really good days, and then you have really bad days. And the bad days, it makes sure to second guess like everything. discipline is pushing through no matter the emotional state, you know, so you just can't let it affect you. This whole thing is just a mental game. If you don't believe in yourself, pretend to. When I first started this, the main reason I wanted to do it was because the idea of doing a show scared me. I didn't think that I had it in me. I thought I would, you know, give in. It's just nice to make it to this point and prove to myself that this can be done, and just staying out of my head, constantly giving myself positive reinforcement. But still, this shit is hard, man. Come on, world. Come on. Come on. Chest pump is crazy right now. That is nuts. It's disgusting too. Cool, but disgusting. That is the bodybuilder look. I really haven't changed anything from like how I would train normally to now, nor should you. I think a lot of people go through like these like drastic measures to completely transform their training. But again, like I said earlier, it's the same objective as always. You want to train to build, you want to train to maintain and keep everything. So why would you change anything? I don't know if this might sound a little bit intense and dramatic given the circumstance that it's a bodybuilding show, but when it gets to the end of all this stuff, of the training and like the diet's low, you feel like shit all the time, it's really hard to show up for yourself sometimes, even if you really want to. You just don't have that motivation. But then just show up for somebody else. Sometimes during a workout, when it gets really hard, I throw my wedding song on and I train for my wife. Because if I'm like, I can't do it for me, I'm gonna do it for her. That might sound way too intense, probably is, but hey, I'm not in the right mind right now. Absolute banger, banger. When I look back at like my childhood and someone's like, say a few words that remember you of that time, I would say regret. I was always so scared to put myself out there because I was afraid of the result before I even tried it. So now I always just make sure like whatever it is that scares me, just tackle it. Up on the wall are all the members that I've competed in the past. And I see an empty spot there for me. It's gonna be pretty cool. I would always look up here and be like, there's no way. So it's so cool. Only 2 weeks. Yo, I'm actually afraid of myself. I feel like I should just be like in Stranger Things in the Upside Down. Like, what is this? Let's just hope after the show day I'm not like the first Canadian ever to gain 100 pounds in 48 hours. It could happen. I'm not gonna write it off yet. When you look at that, I got a gym hickey. By far, my worst pose is the front standing relaxed, unfortunately, because that's kind of like the first impression pose. The lats are weak. So we're gonna try to build them. 2 weeks out, I mean, can't, but we'll try. Doing this literally is having a second full-time job. With the training, with the eating, especially with the posing. Like, you don't think really about the posing, but the posing is the hardest thing. Like, the thing that makes me the most nervous is like, am I ready for the posing? I feel like at a certain point, the competition is like yours to lose, because you have somebody who might not necessarily look as great as you, but they'll just straight up destroy you in posing. and look way better. So you have to put so much time and effort, and it's so taxing, so tiring. Oh. I think when I started the cut, my arms were like close to 18, maybe 18. Now I've lost like probably pretty close to 2 inches off my arms, and they look like quadruple the size. Body fat is such an illusion, man. People get so fixated on scale weight, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people that you want to look like, probably way less than you think. Last set of the day, baby. Are you guys looking for a good pump up song? Hollow, it's fire. Come on, bro. Why does bicep curls feel like deadlifts, man? Oh. A little bit of posing now. I try to do it twice a day. I like to do it in the morning and then post-workout with a bit of a pump. My glutes have been like incredibly stubborn. Like everything else is kind of shaping up. The glutes just don't want to go, which is kind of the main reason why we're pushing so hard at the end. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. But finally, yeah, you see a little, oh, you can see baby lines. Oh my God, we are getting there. Wow. Let me just take this in for a bit. These have been a son of a bitch to get lean. This is by far the most critical I've ever been with my body in my entire life. Like my body dysmorphia is at an all-time high. Normally, I'm not somebody who looks at myself in a negative way. I don't think that I'm not lean enough, not big enough. I never really like look at my physique like that. But now, looking the best I've ever looked, all I see is like negatives. I actually see myself fatter now than when I started. I complain 90% of the time. Like over there, I was like admiring my striations, but that's like 10% of the time. So it kind of just shows you that like, no matter what your goal is, when you achieve it, it's not gonna make you happier. The grass is not always greener. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was gonna be happy like this, but every time I just look in the mirror, I'm like, I look fat. I have more to do, which is like super unhealthy. Horrible mindset. Oh, I'm cramping. Back in the kitchen, it is almost 3 p.m. We are pushing the meals back as far as we can. And this meal, the star of the show, is cottage cheese, which is not the prettiest food, but this is like, it's like dating someone who didn't peak in high school. The best glow ups take time. We're investing into our future. So what we're gonna do is actually blend this with a little bit of honey until it's smooth, and then jazz it up on some toast. When it comes to the bread, I haven't found a way to turn cauliflower into sourdough. I'm still trying to figure it out. I aspire to be as versatile as cauliflower one day. I just use this Betty's bread, and you wanna know how repetitive this diet is? And there's some in the freezer as well. Yeah, like I feel like I can finally sympathize with dogs. Like I eat the same things every single day. Per 2 slices, and yes, I do weigh them out, 47 grams, it's only 90 calories, 5 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat. It's very easy, no matter how low my calories get, to fit this in my diet. We got our 3 pieces of toast, and now we are gonna evenly distribute our cottage cheese honey mixture right on top. I'm telling you, cottage cheese is a slept-on protein, y'all. Oh, you better believe I'm not wasting anything in here. I will get my tongue in there. I've been told I got a talented tongue. Normally this would go in the sink. Nuh-uh. Look at this. We just whipped up cottage cheese into an unrecognizable state, as I now feel myself. Ooh. We got 7 ounces of chicken breast on top. I think if I had dark meat chicken, it would probably taste like a bacon-wrapped filet for me at this point. I don't even know if I can handle it. I'm incredibly excited for this, and what I'm gonna do, because we have the honey and the cottage cheese, it's a bit sweet. Gonna add a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes, a little sweet and spicy, because you know what, guys? Bodybuilders are human too, I think, depending on how far out they are from the show. And we need some sort of flavor and excitement in our foods. Oh my God. This could pass for pizza for me at this point. And normally I'd probably need like 3 LSD strips and like a shroom cap to achieve that effect. I also appreciate bread so much. I totally understand why people say grace before breaking bread. Like, I would fight any duck in a pond for a piece of bread right now. Normally, I wouldn't count cucumber towards my calories. Cucumber is going towards my carb count. That is like counting Pornhub to your body count. Oh, it makes my eyes roll every time. It's kind of just sad.
Over the past 200 days, I've learned some Spanish. Well, I mean, just one word, and that is siesta, because I literally cannot make it through a day without taking a nap at around like 2:30, 4 o'clock. And I was never a nap person. I thought naps were solely for babies and old people. But I'm happily in one of those categories now. Yeah, and you would think that it would ruin my sleep, but it actually enhances it in some way. So I'm going to have a 30-minute to a 1-hour nap. And then we're going to continue on with the day.
Today's snack is, I think it's a dieting hack, and that is some bone broth. So it's 40 calories, 10 grams of protein, and I find it quite filling, and it's hot, so you sip on it. It's reminding me of coffee, and I'm sipping on this while I do some work, trying to do some work, because one of the really bad things that has probably been the worst of this entire prep has been the brain fog. In like long conversations, I start slurring my words. I get kind of like more anxious. Like my brain signals are like trying to connect, like the Wi-Fi on a Delta flight. It's just nothing is operating at full capacity. I get irritated way easier. And even if I like understand it's kind of, what's the word, unreasonable, I still can't control it, which kind of sucks. So, I mean, gonna sip on this, do some work, and then carry on with my exciting day. I'm just outside finishing up the last bit of my steps because when it gets too late, my energy is just done, and just getting up to even get a drink in the fridge is a chore. You really have no life when you do this. It is so all-consuming. I feel like dandelions have more exciting lives than me. Every single day, my life feels like one of those nature documentaries about some like sad animal that's like the last of their species. Yep, that's me. It's just a very isolating thing to do. It's like I'm back in 2020 again during the pandemic, but all the restaurants are still open. But we're almost done. We are almost done. Look at me being an overachiever. Yay. After getting my steps, it was time to relax. So I went to the hot tub, chilled there for a bit, then I did a little sauna before heading out with the family for my guilty pleasure, a large Wendy's Sprite Zero. It just makes me feel good. I feel like I'm participating in normal daily human activities. And if this is the thing that gets me through it, and it makes me happy, then I'd say it's worth it. At this point of the day, volume is the only thing that matters. It's the only goal. So because of that, we have deployed the anabolic Avengers. Now, I rely on these foods like strip club owners rely on daddy issues, okay? So in this massive wok, we have cabbage, a ton of cabbage. We have butternut squash. We have 8 ounces of ground chicken. We have an entire bag of cauliflower rice, and then a ton of spinach, which then I seasoned it with a little bit of cinnamon, salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. How often do you think I have this meal?
Every night.
Every night, literally every single night. I have the same thing. This is like what I look forward to. And then I always put it in this big bowl. Holy man, look at that. We're up to the brim. And we're not even done yet. Follow me. You guys know I couldn't not go a day without my Greek yogurt. So what we're gonna do is put a whole entire serving on top, 17 grams of protein. This thing's kind of like a Mediterranean bowl with like the cinnamon and the Greek yogurt. All I'm doing is just sacrificing culture to save in a little bit of calories here. And there we go, that's dinner. That is the big daddy of the day. Like this thing, it's a child. It weighs more than boba. Head for scale. I'm so excited.
Ooh, mine smells fucking great.
Oh, shut up. Katie's having pasta and she's making me feel bad about it. This is all my own decision. I decided to do this. I decided to suffer. I don't know why. When I finish this bowl, usually I feel like quite sick for like 10 to 15 minutes. And I love it because it reminds me of my old self. I could maybe even say my past life at this point. Do you miss me though? Yeah. Yeah. How have I been on this prep?
You've actually been phenomenal, but you're not my Will.
Yeah.
I miss him.
I'm not her Will. I'm not that little rascal that just runs around naked. Whoops. I forgot to mention, I'm also drinking one of these sparkling waters, watermelon flavor. I have like one a day.
That's a lie?
Yeah, I have way too many of these
Like
a day.
4 to 5, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I have like 4 to 5 of these a day, but it's just water. It just makes me feel like I'm participating in life, so.
I was so disgustingly full after that bowl. It was amazing. I thought I was gonna explode like a human water balloon. Like, look, I have veins protruding from my stomach. Like, what the heck is this? Unfortunately, this feeling is probably gonna last like maybe an hour and then I'll be desperate to eat again.
Last meal of the day is an egg white omelet with some cheese. This is pretty much just like filling out the rest of the macros that I had for the day. We didn't hit it spot on, but we are pretty close. Total macros, 218 grams protein, 48 grams of fat, and 162 grams of carbs. I definitely miss my old self, as sad as that sounds. I started this process in October, so it's like 6 months of doing this, and I'm definitely a different person. I feel like I don't get excited for the same things that I normally would. I feel like I don't show as much emotion. I don't react to things in a certain way. So although I have learned so much about myself through this process, there are things that I'm really excited to get back to. That's one day of suffering. Tomorrow we'll wake up and do the exact same thing. But nothing is gonna compare to what I'm about to go through in the next video. But for now, that is all. Make sure you check out this video. I left it here especially for you. And have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.